Welcome back to Timeless Chronicles. In our previous episode, we witnessed Prophet Ibrahim survive a blazing inferno, shatter the idols of his society, and silence a tyrant king. But the absolute hardest trials of his unbreakable mindset were yet to come. Imagine surviving the fire, only to be commanded to leave your beloved family in a barren, lifeless desert without food or water. Imagine finally raising a son, only to receive a divine command in a dream to sacrifice him. Thousands of years ago, Prophet Ibrahim and his family faced these exact terrifying scenarios. Their story is not just an ancient historical record, it is the ultimate blueprint for unwavering faith, relentless action, and mastering the art of absolute submission. After surviving the fire, Ibrahim, his wife Sarah, and his nephew Luth migrated out of Babylonia toward the land of Canaan, which is Baitul Maqdis. During their long journey, they also settled for a time in a land called Haran. It was during these travels that Sarah, who had been unable to bear children, gracefully offered her servant, Hajar, to Ibrahim. From this blessed union, a son was finally born, Ismail. But the joy of this new family was soon met with an unimaginable test. Allah commanded Ibrahim to take Hajar and the infant Ismail on a long journey, leaving them in a terrifyingly empty, scorching valley, the place that would one day become Mecca. There was no food, no water, and absolutely no people around. As Ibrahim turned his back to walk away from his family, Hajar followed him in desperation. She grabbed his clothing and pleaded, "Oh Ibrahim, where are you going, leaving us here without sufficient provisions?" Ibrahim, bearing the weight of a breaking heart, remained silent. After pressing him repeatedly with no answer, Hajar asked the ultimate question, "Did Allah command you to do this?" When Ibrahim simply answered yes, Hajar displayed a mindset just as unbreakable as her husband's. She stopped pleading. She calmly replied, "Then he will certainly not abandon us." Ibrahim then walked until he reached a high ground, turned towards Baitullah, and prayed for their protection and provision. Trusting the Creator does not mean sitting idly by waiting for a miracle. Soon, their small supply of water ran out, and baby Ismail began to cry from severe thirst. Hajar did not just wait for water to fall from the sky. She took massive action. She climbed the nearest rocky hill, Shafa, looking out across the vast valley to see if anyone was there. Seeing no one, she ran down into the valley, lifting her dress and sprinting like a person in severe distress until she reached the hill of Marwa. She stood on Marwa, desperately searching the horizon again. She repeated this grueling sprint back and forth between Shafa and Marwa 7 times in the scorching heat. To this day, millions of pilgrims recreate this exact run, known as Sa'i, honoring her ultimate display of effort combined with unshakable faith. Because of her incredible effort and unbreakable trust, divine help finally arrived. While standing on Marwa, Hajar heard a sound. She told herself to be quiet and listened closely, realizing the sound was coming from near her baby. An angel, Jibril, had appeared at the site of what is now the Zamzam well. The angel struck the dry earth with his heel, or his wing, and suddenly, pure water burst forth from the ground. Hajar rushed over, using her hands to contain the water to keep it from flowing away, and scooped it into her water skin. The Prophet Muhammad later said that if Hajar had not contained the water, Zamzam would have become a massive, flowing spring. The angel then gave her a profound promise: "Do not fear being abandoned. Here is the house of Allah, which will be built by this boy and his father." Years passed. Ismail grew up, learned Arabic from the tribes that settled nearby, and eventually married a woman from among them. Sometime after Hajar had passed away, Ibrahim came to Mecca to visit his son. Ismail was out hunting, so Ibrahim spoke to his son's wife. He asked her about their living conditions. The wife immediately began to complain. She said, "We are in a very difficult and destitute situation." Hearing this lack of gratitude, Ibrahim gave her a message for his son: "When your husband returns, give him my greetings and tell him to change his door threshold." When Ismail returned and heard the message, he immediately understood the metaphor. He told his wife, "That was my father, and he has commanded me to divorce you. Return to your family." The lesson is clear. A mindset of constant complaining destroys the foundation of a successful life. Ismail married another woman. Sometime later, Ibrahim visited again. Again, Ismail was out, and Ibrahim met his new daughter-in-law. He asked her how they were doing. This woman, despite living in the same harsh desert conditions, had a completely different mindset. She smiled and praised Allah, saying, "We are doing well and have plenty." When Ibrahim asked what they ate and drank, she replied, "Meat and water." Ibrahim then prayed, "O Allah, bless them in their meat and water." A miraculous blessing followed this prayer, ensuring that meat and water would always sustain the people of Mecca without causing illness. Ibrahim then left a new message: "Tell your husband to strengthen his door threshold." When Ismail returned, he knew his father approved of his grateful wife. Gratitude brings abundance, while complaining brings ruin. Ibrahim returned once more, this time to fulfill the angel's ancient prophecy. He told Ismail that Allah had commanded him to build a house for worship. Together, father and son worked tirelessly to construct the Kaaba. When the foundation was complete and Ibrahim was building the corners, he asked Ismail to find the best stone to place at the corner. Ismail was tired, but Jibril brought a black stone from India. Initially, this stone was a brilliant white sapphire, but Allah faded its blinding light because of the sins of humanity. As they worked, they constantly prayed, "Our Lord, accept this from us. Indeed, you are the hearing, the knowing." Following the commands of Allah, Ibrahim was also circumcised at the age of 80, using an axe, and he circumcised Ismail when the boy was 13. Their physical and spiritual dedication was absolute. But the greatest, most agonizing test of Ibrahim's life was yet to come. Ismail had grown into a young man, capable of working alongside his father. Just as Ibrahim was finally enjoying the presence of his beloved son, he had a vivid dream. In the dream, he saw himself sacrificing Ismail. For a prophet, a dream is a direct, divine command. How do you process this? You survived the fire, you survived the barren desert, and now you must let go of the very child you prayed decades for. This was not about cruelty, it was the ultimate test of detachment. The Creator was testing Ibrahim to prove that nothing in this world, not even his deepest love for his own flesh and blood, sat higher in his heart than his devotion to God. Ibrahim did not force his son. He went to Ismail, looked him in the eyes, and gently said, "O my son, indeed, I have seen in a dream that I must sacrifice you, so see what you think." Listen to the unbelievable response of a son raised by a resilient mother and an unbreakable father. Ismail did not panic. He did not run. He answered, "O my father, do what you are commanded. You will find me, if Allah wills, among the patient." This is the pinnacle of human submission. They both walked together, fully prepared to execute the command. They had completely conquered their egos, their fears, and their earthly attachments. Just as Ibrahim was about to fulfill the command, a voice called out to him, "O Ibrahim, you have fulfilled the vision." Allah intervened. He ransomed Ismail with a great, magnificent, white-horned ram to be sacrificed instead. Allah never wanted Ismail's blood. He only wanted Ibrahim's heart. Because Ibrahim proved his absolute loyalty, Allah rewarded him with unimaginable joy. Angels visited Ibrahim and his elderly barren wife Sarah, bringing them the miraculous glad tidings that she would give birth to a son named Ishaq, and after him a grandson named Yaqub. Sarah was so shocked she cried out in disbelief, but the angels reminded her, "Are you astonished at the decree of Allah?" Ibrahim's mind was always seeking deeper certainty. He once asked Allah, "My Lord, show me how you give life to the dead." Allah asked, "Have you not believed?" Ibrahim replied, "Yes, but to reassure my heart. Allah commanded him to take 4 birds, cut their meat and feathers into pieces, mix them together, and place a portion on different mountains." Then Ibrahim called them. Miraculously, the pieces merged back together, and the birds came rushing back to him, fully alive. Ibrahim lived a life of profound miracles, passing away between the ages of 175 and 200. He earned the eternal title of Khalilullah, the beloved friend of Allah. Prophet Ibrahim and his family teach us that an unbreakable mindset requires taking massive action like Hajar, maintaining profound gratitude like Ismail's wife, and possessing absolute submission like Ibrahim and Ismail. If you found value in this epic conclusion of Ibrahim's story, hit the like button and subscribe to Timeless Chronicles. We'll be bringing you more untold stories and life lessons from the greatest figures in history. Stay motivated and stay timeless.